Local councils from all over Melbourne have a message for the state government. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 is chair of Outer Melbourne Councils and Mayor of 𝗧𝗵𝗲 Jack, good morning.
Good morning, Chanel. Good morning, Bob. How are you going?
Good. Tell us what this group is aiming to do and what message is it trying to send the state government?
The message that we want to send is that there certainly are lessons to be learned from Werribee, but those lessons apply equally to the outer west and north, to the outer east and southeast, such as where I am in Pakenham. We need significant investment in roads and community infrastructure like basketball courts and pools. We need better mental health services, bus routes that actually travel through new estates, and we need more funding overall that prioritises outer Melbourne suburbs and helps us reduce the inequality that exists for our residents.
And Jack, are you having conversations with the state government that you feel are being ignored? Is that why you've all come together?
Yes and no. Certainly we have good relationships with the state government, but I think that the government and the opposition won't be properly learning the lessons of Werribee if they think those voter frustrations stop at the ring road. And that's fair to say with regard to both the state and the federal government.
Jack, how many councils are part of this cohort that you're speaking on behalf of today?
So Outer Melbourne Councils is a group made up of 10 different municipalities that form a ring around Metro Melbourne. We formed to advocate for better services, better infrastructure for our more than 1.6 million residents. So our vision is that residents should have access to jobs, services and infrastructure no matter where we live. Because I think we represent more than a quarter of the state's population. So we certainly have a strong voice.
Can you tell me what the biggest issue you think you have in your area that is being ignored by the state government?
Well, every part of Outer Melbourne is different, but we all share a number of challenges around infrastructure, transport, access to services and livability. We know that the further away that you get from the city, that livability decreases, and that's something that we think needs to be addressed. A lot of those challenges are because of distance and growth, and the impacts of growth are twofold. Firstly, new residents rightly demand infrastructure and services to make their lives better, but also with the influx of those new residents, it means there's lots of first-time voters in these outer suburban seats. No one really knows how these people may vote, and that's certainly enough to swing any of those seats. So I think politicians need to stop assuming that there are safe seats and respond better to voters' concerns. So that's things like traffic congestion and, as I mentioned, access to services. We have a number of residents who have to leave our shire and travel, so from 𝗧𝗵𝗲, travel as far as Dandenong or the city to access services, which, of course, when you're more than an hour away, is just not applicable.
We're talking with 𝗧𝗵𝗲, Chair of Outer Melbourne Council and Mayor of 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Jack, how comfortable are you with the chains of communication with the state government on these issues?
The chains of communication are okay, but we need more actually done. So we recognise that there are constraints, but we don't buy the argument that there's no money. Governments have the ability to raise money, and it's all about priorities. So those priorities for us should be dealing with traffic congestion, addressing infrastructure gaps and improving the quality of life for our outer Melbourne residents. I'll give you a couple of examples. Analysis shows that while Melbourne has the best transport access of any capital city in the country, that access is skewed heavily towards wealthier communities. So that leads to highly unequal access to transport infrastructure across the city, and it means poor access to people who need it most. And the other one I want to touch on is access to jobs. We have multiple councils in our group, including 𝗧𝗵𝗲, where we know that around 70% of people have to leave their municipality for work every day. So roads projects that unlock local employment land is absolutely critical.
𝗧𝗵𝗲, Chair of Outer Melbourne Councils and the Mayor of 𝗧𝗵𝗲, thank you so much for your time.